Hello, my friends. This is Peter Palmiotti, and this is Making Comics and Art, episode 271, Inking Aquaman. If you didn't know, later tonight, 8 o'clock to be exact, I'm going to have Frog G and Jason Bascom on my channel talking about their new book, Voodoo Gods and Magic, which is live on Indiegogo right now. So tune in to that. So just a minute ago, somebody gave me some ink. And it's actually, one of the inks I use is Higgins Black Magic. And it was a new bottle, has a new top to it. And it says new improved. I think they meant the sort of the top to the bottle is maybe new and improved. I stuck my brush in it and it came back as very watery wash. So I don't think they mean the ink. That's been an issue and a problem of late. I'm very particular. And let's see, will this wash out the image? Not too bad. All right. You can't tell, but not that white. Looks a little dark in here. So yeah, I'm very particular about the ink that I use, and I haven't really done my sort of alchemy of late to get it exactly how I want it. Hey, it's Creators Outlet. Welcome. What are you up to this morning? Afternoon. My day is flying by. Yeah, normally I mess with my ink, leave it out, and it gets a little darker. But, life has been challenging, and haven't kept up with my normal routines. Yeah, if you didn't know, it looks like the end of November, I'll be going to Florida for a couple of months. So that gives me some time before then to do a bunch of things. And maybe get on track. We'll see. Worst Aquaman version ever. You didn't like the Hook version? That was when I worked on the book. And got my regular EJB. Black Magic ink has been really watery for years now. It seems almost like a gray wash last time I used it. Yeah, I'm not sure if what a friend of mine gave me was a new bottle. It said new improved. I never saw that label before on it. But I use combination Black Magic and Pelican. Was it just Pelican black ink? I've tried others, but I hate when the ink gets really sticky. You lay it down and it gets sticky on the page. I really shouldn't worry. Because when it comes down to it, when you scan the artwork, you can dock it in an art program. But I don't know. It's like the quality of the image before me is what I'm focused on. So I want that to look top notch. If you hear my air condition, it's cooler now. But it gets a little stuffy inside if I don't have that running. My windows in the apartment are kind of useless. So that's what I do. Creators Outlet goes, I still collected it though. I appreciate that. I think I got 3 cents in royalties from your contribution. So, thank you. Yeah, I used some other inks, and I actually asked a whole bunch of people a while back ago what some good inks were, and got some really good recommendations. So eventually I'll try some of that out. Too busy buying paper and brushes to also be buying ink. Oh well. Now I have to buy printer ink as well. And that stuff is much more expensive. And that's only for when I print out red line, as I do. So if you're watching this and you didn't know, trying to break through the wall to a degree of doing much more of my own artwork. And it's always been recommended by my art rep that I should be doing fan art. So here I am. Unhinged. At work. See you tonight. Though Ink H Frog will be on time, but I'll be a couple of minutes late. No problem at all. Look forward to talking with you, man. Talking about your project, talking about your artwork. I'm sure a whole bunch of things will come up. It's Jason, otherwise known as Unhinged. Be 8 p.m. tonight. We'll have to stall the stream until he shows up. No. Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't remember the brand. I think it had a blue label. It's supposed to be really good. But yeah, this year has been challenging. Some success. And we'll see about how this goes. So, yeah, I'm open for commissions. If you want to commission me to draw your favorite character, I'm doing 10 by 10 pieces. This is 10 by 10. I didn't cut the paper. It's a little bigger than that, but for only $30 plus $10 for packaging and shipping if you're US, more if you're elsewhere. But yeah, I'm trying to break through the wall let people know that, hey, I'm an artist too, yo. So I can do more of my own artwork, make better duckarinos. Yeah, when Jason comes on, I'll ask him when he uses. I love his style, man. It's I want to say Sienkiewicz. It's very reminiscent of Sienkiewicz to me. Like if Sienkiewicz and Carl Baker had a baby. I know some of you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but that's okay. Go look them up. Bill Sienkiewicz, Carl Baker. Man, Carl Baker's run on the Shadow for DC Comics back in the day was so fun. It was so fun, so goofy. Not necessarily how I ever envisioned the Shadow. But it was a trip. At the time, there was no internet, and both me and Jimmy, my brother Jimmy Pagnotti, if you didn't know, I'll keep saying that for the rest of my life. We used to read it and really, really loved it. I believe Ann Nessetti was the writer on that. It was just kooky, crazy fun. The Shadow, as you never knew him before. Yeah, so I'm doing this to force myself to do more artwork as I attempt to improve my artwork, as well as just get into the habit of doing more artwork, finished artwork. I'm sure the style will evolve before your very eyes. It certainly has over the years. It's to work on so many different artists as an anchor, and pick up little flares. And there's ways I want to push my artwork, but we shall see. But I'll be doing, sort of this year is a wash in some ways. I was hoping to get a bunch of books done. And now it's like time is limited. I have like roughly 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. 2 months, I guess. Once I'm in Florida, I won't be doing artwork per se. Although I'll probably be sketching. But I can't do anything with hard deadlines because I'm going to be at other people's beck and call. But yeah, I inked Aquaman back in the day. The artist on the book, that I joined was Jim Calfury, who was doing a couple of fill-ins before both him and I became the regular team. Peter David was writing it. And it was my first real break. You know, I did a couple of pages before Marvel, years before that. A couple of pages from Marvel Comics Presents, a couple of things with Punisher, maybe 1 or 2 pages on an annual, and something, I believe, from his regular book. So yeah, I mean, you know, like as things go, this is me being fairly tight with pencils. I could have taken it even further. Just I decided I won't do that with my inks. So yeah, you know, I've done artwork throughout the years for people and have gotten paid, but it's never really taken off. It's like a little something here, something there. Occasionally people message me and ask me to draw them something, or I'll plug it online and 1 or 2 people respond. But it's never really heating up like it has with my inking. You know, I'm mostly known as an inker. You know, as I do pencil more short stories and comics and covers, you know, whatever I get it into up to, then, you know, I'll get more credibility. But yeah, I'm going for it. You know, it's probably a worse timing. But you know, sometimes you just gotta say, like, there is no better time than now. You know, I really want to push my career to where I want it to be, rather than following what other people want me to do. You know, hence the whole point behind me making my own comics and you know, deciding, like, I'd rather do my own stuff than work for publishers. You know, I'll still do that. But I'm trying to give more focus to stuff I want to be doing. Yeah, it's funny. If I ink with a brush, style is very different than when I ink with a quill. Stylistically, there's things I do with a quill that I want to lean my art more towards. You know, brush is definitely great. I mean, you know, I could ink this piece totally in brush, but and I could force this sort of style I want to go with. But you know, sometimes switching up the tool helps you. But yeah, after this piece, next things, I should move that a little. Next things that I want to work on is the original X-Men. And I posted that online, just like some initial sketches, ideas. I'll do some research on the characters, as well as, sort of the looks I'm going for. Improve upon that. Do some type pencils and then ink those. Unless I get commissioned, unless like people want me to draw their characters or their favorite characters or what have you. What have you? So yeah, I'll be the future Frank Miller. Just you watch. Where you're writing and drawing, penciling and inking, and even coloring. Frank doesn't color, at least not that I know of. I wonder how his company is doing, or if they even put out books yet. But I know it's been reported that he's got his own comic company where he can take people under his wing and mentor them. He's never asked me. Screw you, Frank. You had your chance. Frank's a good guy. Talented mofo. Let's see. Where's my program? See if you could see. I'll go close. So, yeah, it just comes out slightly gray. Even the dark parts are. It's not exactly black. I prefer it when it comes out jet black. I'm just so particular. I'm just so fussy. When you're been an inker as long as I have, and you just naturally get fussy. I worry about the littlest details. All that jazz. But yeah, so, in its pencil form, I really like how this came out. It's not like 100% perfect or accurate. It's like the anatomy could be better, proportions probably better, blah, blah, blah. But, not every artist does perfect proportions. Some of the best artists, like Bernie Wrightson, is a perfect example of, he does really weird faces. Sort of like, he does these big honking noses on his characters. And, sort of in my own artwork, I am kind of known for doing long noses. It's just, it's like, I think, I forget who said it, but like the mistakes you make as an artist is what makes up your style. And so I don't mind not being 100% accurate. I mean, it's like I'm not trying to be realistic. I'm trying to do a comic style. Um, do, do, do. So it's all fun and games. But yeah, if I could churn out, and by churn out I mean getting around to doing a bunch of these, um, you know, more people see my artwork, and if they like it, then inquire. Hopefully. Um, so I think New York Comic Con is soon, if not now. Reason I mention it is so if you know about Designated, and the book I'm doing with Mark Torres that we didn't actually get funded up on Kickstarter. Timing of it turned out to be horrible um, for both me and Mark for different reasons. So Mark is in New York, and he's going to see about pitching it to some publishers at New York Comic Con. So Designated is not dead on the vine, as they say. Um, but we got no definite plans other than we're trying again. I'd love to see the whole book, all 5 issues, the whole series uh, done and released one day. As well as, I got to get Retro worked on and finish that book. And, this could help. This, me doing sort of a bunch of fan art pieces and get me in the right direction of making more money. So I can do all the things I need to do with that. Yeah, I look at the art and I just like, if it's not jet black, I just want to go over the lines 100 times. And I'm a slow inker, if you didn't already know. Part of the reason is because I want things to be perfect. And what did what's his name? Jake Inktober guy. Finished, not perfect. Do what he says. So I like this side view because it shows the arm with the hook. It doesn't show the costume that much. You just see a couple of straps. So be it. The other side has his metal part. I kind of wished the design was, the same on the left side as it was the right. I pretty much thought that throughout the whole time I worked on the book. It's like his costume's kind of cool, but I wish it was more parallel, universal, whatever word you would use. Whatever words you would use. So I ate kind of like breakfast really early this morning. I didn't eat lunch. I should have ate lunch. But at least the other day I was suffering from, this September-ness. Usually when I start sneezing a lot, I was having major brain fog because I wanted to stream last night, and it's like I'm just sitting at my art table kind of thinking I would really love to stream right now, but my brain wasn't having it. I'll see if I can get into streaming more. It's constant life taking me away from things I want to do. Sometimes. So I am essentially going over the line work I created. As I get deeper into this piece, like I said, this isn't totally finished pencils. I would like to add a lot more to it. I'm hoping when I get to that point in this piece that I'll find more inspiration as to how I wish to approach it. Sometimes inspiration is just, I got to get this done. Let me do this, and this. Inking is sometimes just making 1,000 decisions in a short amount of time. It's like, should I make this line a little thicker? Should I make this black part solid black, or should I go in with some texture? Should I keep the hair really simple, or should I throw in 1,000 lines? Sometimes you're not even aware of decisions you're making. I just I gotta connect the lines and get it done and get it out there, scan it and send it to whoever's waiting on it, colorist, the publisher, what have you. So while this This is Aquaman from back in the day. It's my interpretation of the character. You know, you look at different artists who did the character back then. And, I want to say Robert Eglin, who did Freddy Krueger. Monty Englund, I think his name was before Cal Fury was Monty. Could be completely wrong. He had a slight variation on how he approached during Aquaman at the time. I happen to really like Marty's work, but they actually got Cal Fury on the book because Marty was taking too long to pencil. I don't blame anybody who can't do a monthly book. Doing a monthly book is brutal. It's like as soon as you finish an issue, at least this is my experience on Aquaman specifically, because I didn't have a critical schedule as the time I worked on Aquaman, at least for that long of a period of time. I did a 48-page one shot for Marvel with Sentry from Forceworks. So that was like doing a little over 2 books back to back. But so that was whatever it was, 2 months, a little more than that, maybe 2.5 months. But after that time, I can relax. With a monthly, it's just get the last issue done, put your head up, and next issue is coming your way. And you just got to keep going, keep churning it out, keep going. So anybody's got any questions, feel free, or want to promote anything you guys are working on, by all means, use my chat for that. I'm always curious what fellow artisans and writers and creators are up to. I haven't been watching as many streams of late because, frankly, my mind's not there. I try to. But I do like to know what people are up to, what they're working on, what struggles they're facing, what have you. Boom, 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 ba-da-bum, boom. Perhaps you would like it better if I just sing. I know you. I know that's what you would want. You would want me to sing. Maybe one day I'll make it onto Global Frequency. My friends who do a karaoke night. I'm too freaking shy. I have to be drunk. I don't have beer in the house. I have what is it, Captain Morgan? What the hell is that stuff? It's kind of gross, actually. That's why I still have it. I only drink a little at a time when I drink. But yeah, probably if I ever go on that show and sing, I'll probably have to be drunk. And you would think, like, I've been YouTubing since 2012. I podcasted for 4 years before that. I was a co-host on an actual radio station program before that. I forget how long, maybe 10 months. I don't know. So it's like for years and years and years, I've been talking to people, talking to artists, talking to writers, talking to movie directors, maybe other people, artists, colorists, all the like. That's fun. Sometimes I'm more nervous than others, and like my nervous is it's not rational. I just want to do always want to do a good show. Sometimes it's like meh, whatever. Now that only thing, I'm not sure what you mean. Elaborate. I think you mean you want me to sing. I've been told I have a good voice. It's like my problem is I don't remember the songs to words. I just sing. I just like make up words and group them together. A little case in the top 40 might be just what the streams been missing. There you go. I used to listen to Casey Kasem. What was it, Sunday? I used to do the top 40. Sunday afternoons, something like that. Or maybe it was morning. It was probably morning. Back in New York, at least. When I do get into penciling more comic pages, like some short stories I got coming up, and when I start doing retro, I should really use art programs to my advantage. Not because I want to go into the art program to ink per se, but I can put the artwork into the art program, like scan the image, put it in the art program, and sort of do trial and error, like blacking areas out to get a better picture of what it might look like finished. Rather than just doing trial and error on my gut. Might improve my work a little bit. I remember working on Aquaman, like Cal Fury. He was normally like, if a person had black hair, it was a giant, big mass of black, like no lines in it, except an outline. It was almost like a silhouette. And to me, that never worked. Like, not never worked, but rarely worked, or like is my personal opinion. Like if you just, like if Aquaman had black hair and I just filled in the shape of his hair as a solid black, it looks flat. It looks flat. You gotta throw in a little white in there somewhere, and that's really what gives it life. But Aquaman, blonde hair, maybe a dirty blonde sometimes, but man, inking Calfury's blonde hair was a million different lines, all these thin lines. And now, mind you, like I don't know if I ever used quill, probably for the smaller headshots. But yeah, it was a lot of tedious thin line brushwork. That I got up to. That was time consuming. But yeah, it doesn't. But this feels a little like what's his name? Peter from Game of Thrones. I guess because he's sort of got a big head as opposed to a small body, but I don't know. Whatever. I think it looks good. His style is so particular with the solid blocky shapes of shadow and highlights. Yeah. I mean, man, like he does some really juicy shadows and very, like particular formations of light and dark within his work. And it's like I always loved his work. I always will. I wonder if I loved his, what was it, with him and Gail Simone, leaving, is it Leaving Metropolis or Leaving something like that? I really like that. And I think they did a book too, but they didn't crowdfund it. They just sold it or something. And last I looked, they were going to do a book 3, but I don't know what's happening. I haven't really seen a post by Cal Fury lately. But that was a fun book. It was, Cal Fury doing superheroes, but not kind of an apocalypse story, but not. Yeah, so I'm right now, and what I've been doing is sort of laying down the groundwork, so the next stage will be much easier. Where it will be more like about all the cool line work. You don't say. So if you're watching this and you haven't already, give this video a like. And I should mention more often when I do these streams, please share it on your Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Share it out to your friends. If you like this video, and you should check out more of my shows. I'm trying to get my watch hours up. I've been past 1,000 forever, and it's taken me forever to get around to having 4,000 watched hours on my channel, so I can get super chats. But one day, probably next year. I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming while I'm in Florida. I would like to touch base at least, but that remains, where I'll be and who's around me, and don't want to be obnoxious with my streaming, if that's going to be the case. I'll mention again, I'll be streaming tonight, 8:00 p.m. with Frog G and Jason, who was popped in for a second earlier. Jason Bascom, with their book, Frog G, Voodoo, Gods, and Magic. A poor helpless man gets turned into a frog by a evil voodoo mistress, or whatever she is. Based on a true story. Sorry here. It's true. So all three, if in case you're wondering, all three of my cats are inside, which is a rarity if it's not, like nighttime, bedtime. They usually come in at night, if they do at all. But yeah, for the most part, I don't worry about them getting in my face, except for Ripley. And Ripley is currently in my bathroom because I had to put her up. She was, she gets in her moods where she wants love and attention all the time. And while I have a lot of love and attention to give them, it's not usually when I'm working. But they are all doing well. And hey, Charles Reeves, welcome. Can't comment very much, but I've been watching it. I'm at work. The live comic art drawing is very inspiring. Awesome. It says, I create WWE wrestlers of superheroes mostly. So if you're interested, you can check me out at Charles Reeves. Yeah, I saw the one you did for I'm gonna blank on his name now. Joe Sonntag for his character, Reaper Destroyer. Well, no, actually, you did Joe Sonntag dressed as Reaper Destroyer. I believe that's what it was. It was kind of cool. So if you don't know Charles and what Charles does, go check him out. Most definitely. And it's great to hear I'm an inspiration. I don't always feel inspirational. Sometimes it's just enough to get through today, you know. But yeah, I'll just be streaming a little bit more, and then we'll call it a day. Not sure if I'll stream working on the rest of this, or just, you know, I'll just dive in later at some point and finish the inks on this. You know, I've done enough inking on this channel to where you can see me actually finish things. But I'll, you know, depending on my schedule and what have you, you know, since I want to get known as an artist more than just an inker, you know, I'll do full stages eventually of a bunch of these pieces, I'm sure. All right, now we're getting into hair. Hair's a lot of fun. I'm going to save most of it for later. You know, it's like I'm going to break out the quill for a lot of this small detail. But this is definitely taking shape. It's definitely taking shape. Yeah, I don't want to do too much of a tiny detail and brush. Go quill. Quill really, like, it was hard when I initially, years and years back, tried working with the quill. But it's definitely worth learning. Charles goes, wasn't a career option for me growing up, so I'm kind of straight away from drawing. I used to love it, yeah. Drawing is fun. Inking is fun. You know, I'm attempting to be more of an artist. You know, it's like I love inking just fine, and I've been making better money inking, but I'm finding less and less that's where my drive is at. Like, you know, I want to do my own art. I want to do my own creations. But it's like there's at least a billion characters that I love that I read growing up, and I wouldn't mind drawing like this and giving my version of some of them characters. Like John Byrne's Hulk is different from Dale Keown's Hulk, which is different from Jack Kirby's Hulk, which is different from Jim Strango's Hulk. So if I do Hulk, it'd be different than all their versions. And wouldn't you want my version of Hulk to hang on your wall or to give to a friend for Christmas? If so, just message me, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, easiest to connect. I'm tempted to do a brush with these lines, the water lines behind him. I think I'm gonna try doing those in quill. I want a clear separation between the figure and what's behind him. But we shall see. We shall see. If you didn't know, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Peter Pagliani. You can go there and support my work as well. Sometimes I get into a rhythm of doing stuff over there. Sometimes, mostly not. But it's mostly there for people who want to support me. It's like tipping the girl who gives you a bagel and coffee. Think of it that way. Or think of it like you're feeding my cats. Because you pretty much are. Without you, they'd be skinny and homeless. My poor kitties. So I'm not sure, kind of thinking give this a little more of a image flare. Like what I've done thus far might be far from stylistically what the final version will look like. But we'll see. We'll see. So if you didn't know, back in the day, he had a different costume. So these are actually supposed to be leather straps, and there's a metal part to his costume that's on his right side. But yeah, so far so good. I got some other things I should be inking. Some comic pages. I got that retro piece to finish. Eventually do some fan art. Well, ink some fan art that I was going to. But anyway, like during the streams, if I finish things and don't necessarily post everything online, like share everything online. Sometimes what I do is just share it during a stream. Give a little bonus to the people that are watching me. Yeah, it's always appreciated when I see friends and fellow comic creators and artisans show up in the chat. All our time is valuable, so when you guys and gals show up here, it's means a lot. Do, 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 do. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna start to nitpick now. So perhaps it's a good time to go. Even though I said it wasn't tight pencils, I kept very true to a lot of what was going on, thinking up some stuff. But yeah, so there's some development of the Aquaman piece. Like I said, doing a lot of bunch of my interpretation of characters. If you don't like the word fan art, these are all 10 by 10. All I ask is $30, which is that's less than my inking rate, much less than my inking rate. This is all done on Bristol paper. And I can mail it to you, $10 US, more if you're elsewhere. Or if you want to order one and gift it to a friend, we can do that too. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. And those that chatted in the chat, always appreciate you most. And I'll see you all tonight at 8, or you can watch my shows at any time after. They'll always be up on YouTube. But yeah, so have a great day. Keep making comics that aren't.